Hi there, boys and girls. It's Miss Hodges, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about geography. So I know that you've been looking at some maps and social studies, and I thought it would be a good idea to talk about some geography vocabulary words. So today in Canvas, you're going to find the page that looks like what's on my computer screen right now, and that's going to be in Canvas for you. So it's actually a page that has 2 pages on it, so you really only need one. If you're able to print this at home on your printer, that would be awesome. I printed it and I cut it out and I cut around the little tab that says geography. So this is for you to glue into your social studies notebook. So I have one of my notebooks here labeled Social Studies ISN Interactive Student Notebook, and I'm going to take that page and take my glue stick and I'm going to glue it, and I want you to see how when I glue it, I'm going to have that tab stick out of my notebook just a little bit so I can see that this is the geography section in my social studies notebook. See how the tab sticks out just a little bit like that? So if you have a printer and you can print this, and if you have your social studies notebook, you can do your geography tab just like mine. If you don't have your notebook, you can print this and you can put it on a piece of paper. If you don't have a printer, that is okay. You're going to be able to see this page in Canvas, okay? So some of these vocabulary words we're going to look at very carefully today, and we're going to look back at a map that you've already looked at last week and see how some of these words fit into the context of that map. So today we're going to look at symbol, latitude, and longitude. So let's take a peek back at the U.S. regions map that you looked at last week. I bet you noticed whenever you looked at this map that Texas is in the southwest region of the United States. Every time I look at a map, I always look for Texas, and you know what? I always look too for Oklahoma because that is where I grew up. And so I noticed too that Oklahoma and Texas are both in the southwest region of the map. So what else can we notice on this map? The different regions, of course, that's what this map is mostly about, but I noticed that there is a symbol on this map, and I'm looking at the definition of a symbol in my geography definitions here on my geography tab, and I see that a symbol is a mark, a sign, or a word that represents an idea or an object. Do you see the black star that is inside a circle? That is a symbol. That's the symbol for the capital of our country. So that symbol on any map is going to show you where a capital is. If it were a map just of Texas and you saw that symbol, that would mean that's the capital of the state of Texas, which we all know is Austin. That's right. And so on our map here of the United States, we see that circle with the star inside, and that is the capital of the United States. That is Washington, D.C. The other 2 things we want to look at on this map are the lines of latitude and longitude. And remember, I'm going to teach you a trick to keep these straight because I used to get these confused all the time. Latitude, longitude, they really sound the same and they are kind of similar. So let's look at our definitions. Latitude is the coordinate that specifies the north-south position of a point on the Earth's surface. The north-south position, latitude. So latitude shows where something is north or south of the equator. The equator is a line of latitude that runs across our globe, and we can look at the lines of latitude that are either north of the equator or south of the equator to give us the specific location of a place. Along with that, we can look for longitude, okay? Longitude, it kind of has that word long inside. If you look at the word longitude, longitude is long, and that's how I remember it. It is long, and it is the one that goes in this direction on your map. It is the coordinate that specifies the east-west position of a point on the Earth's surface. So east and west of the prime meridian, which is a very special line of longitude. So if you find the coordinate for latitude and longitude of a specific place, it's almost like telling someone the address of that place. So I'm looking really carefully on the map here, and I see the line of latitude that runs through Texas on this map. Do you see it? It's labeled as 30 degrees north. That means it's 30 degrees north of the equator. And there's one that runs up and down, and that one, let me scroll down a little bit, 100 degrees west of the prime meridian, that special line of longitude. So I want you to know, boys and girls, there's lots of other invisible lines. These are all invisible lines. It's not really running through the state of Texas, but it's a line of measurement, and so there's lots of invisible lines next to it. And so if we were going to get more specific about exactly where Katy, Texas would be on this map, it wouldn't exactly be 30 degrees north and 100 degrees west. It would be more specific, like 29.7 degrees north and 95.8 degrees west. It would be more specific because there's more imaginary lines. So, boys and girls, every time you look at a map, you can look to see, are there symbols on this map? And are there lines of latitude and longitude that can tell me about a specific location? Or can I use those lines of latitude and longitude to point out a specific location, almost like telling what somebody's address is? So remember, today you're going to glue that into your notebook, and then another idea of something that you can do is to take some notes. Do a little bit of sketch noting. So what I did in my notebook is I took a page and I wrote the words that we learned together today. So symbol, latitude, and longitude. And I just drew a picture next to each one of those words to help me remember exactly what they mean. All right, boys and girls, have a great time looking at your maps today, looking at your vocabulary, and learning about social studies.